Today is working on the Civic, and this will be applied to all the Civic from 2006 to 2011. The engine is the same, on that year from 06 to 011. 012 and up still have very similar engine. If you do a engine swap, it could be worked too, because Honda stay in very close range of part removing, all that stuff. But according to this year is 06 to 11. Now my other video showing where the water leaking is coming from already, and the person who owned this vehicle decided to have an engine swap. So I got the engine from a used engine place already, and today I'm going to do the removing and installation for this Civic. I'm going to remove this piece right here to create more room. I'm going to remove my hood first. There's a clip right here, and holding the place, and there's a bolt right there, and removing that bolt, and that's a size 10. The last one down here. So there's a pin in the back here only. A couple bolt holding right here. Okay. There's another bolt down here. Okay, they're just sticky down there only. So as you remove this cover here, there's plenty of room to push the engine forward, push the radiator. So on this side, I'm going to remove the alternator, AC, exhaust manifold, and maybe the fan over here to create more room to pull the engine towards the front. Disconnect the battery first, in case battery short. So I'm going to remove the battery out of the way. Air box is out. Okay, I'm going to remove all the wire from the engine, and going to lift the engine without lifting both transmission and engine, and so that will probably less work than I moving both engine and transmission together. So now it's free. Flip this over. To remove that. There's a clip on this side and right there. Push pin. Remove the injector rail. Get this cover and unplug all the injector right here. Okay. To release the clip, so just unplug from the bottom where that at, so maybe my camera can't see it. And disconnect the intake exhaust manifold cover here. Okay, now just loop the bottom so it can take out the manifold side. Now to remove the alternator belt. And now to remove the alternators out of the way. And there's another one down here below right there. You don't have to move it. They just create a little bit of room so when you're moving out it not bump anywhere, because this is kind of like all on top of the AC, so it's, if you remove it, it's easier. From the bottom here, exhaust manifold had 2 bolts. Just take this and take this bracket here out, and you should be able to pull the and there's another bolt right here on the side. Oops. Okay, all the bolts out, so just now out. I'm going to move this fan here out, so we'll create more room for. Paper right here, and use a paper clip to clip this to hold in place, so in case I have something impact, it won't hit the radiator. So removing the heater hose, and you got both on this side. In the bottom here, for me to be able to get the starter bolt on the top and the bottom, I can do it without it, but it takes longer because I changed this starter long times ago and it does pretty hard. without moving this axle. So, and on this time I'm going to remove the axle out, and that will create more room for me to detach the I think like a, I forgot, was a sensor under the intake manifold in there too, so I need to unplug that. And the starter bolt is kind of tight, so removing the axle is much easier. So I'm going to do the axle out. I'm going to remove this 2 bolt. So you need to remove the ABS sensor here. You know, plenty of room for the starter since I moved the axles out. And then the wire I talk about is on the one on the top right here, connected to the engine block. So I need to disconnect that. So I have to remove the starter first, and then I can have a room to remove that. Okay, starter bolt. So I have to remove in that bracket right there from up here. See what the 2 kind of like go place right there, that will be holding the 10mm fold. I'm removing that so I can put my swivel socket down behind to removing starter bolt on the top. So when you got the starter out, there's a bolt on the positive and the ignition right there just unplugged, then you can remove the starter down here. That's a knock sensor that you have to remove it to be able to free this wire right here. There's a sensor here, and there's a sensor right in the intake manifold right there, and underneath it have a knock sensor. Okay, all those sensors have to be disconnected, and also the power steering pump had to disconnect it for lifting the engine. Pop in the gas, release the gas pressure before disconnect the gas line. Okay. The power steering, there's 2 bolts holding it, one on the top here and one in the bottom and out. So and then that is number 10 also. Okay, that's it. All the flywheel bolts come off already, and now it's time to disconnect my split the bolt that holding transmission and engine. On the transmission bolt, it's not many holding it, so 2 on the top and a couple on the side. That's it. I'm going to break loose like this, and then I'm going to use my impact to finish it. It's easy and faster that way. Okay, 2 of the tops done. there. In the bottom here, I'm using this jack to support it. I weld this place to support, you know, because it's wider and can support better, so I don't have to put a wood block on it. Okay, and I already took all the bolt loose it, and that one off, and the other side's off, so now it's taking this one. So I connect my cable to here, the chain, and the other one I loosen right here to put the chain in there. I have to remove this stress cord right there to be able to fit in that bolt right there. Okay, now all the bolts free. The torque converter go inside this right here, and when you removing the engine from the transmission, make sure that the torque converter that's not stuck in here, and you pull the torque converter out and touch the housing of the transmission. I like the old idea that they don't have that nipple when you disconnect the flywheel, and it just came out easily, you know. Okay, and that's just my tip, that if you do one of this Civic, watch out for that right there.